Simplified Chaos, episode 136.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hey everybody, welcome to Simplify Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my husband and co-host, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? We hope you all are having a wonderful week. We've got a rather fun episode here for you all today, and it's also going to be great. Jilly, what kind of shenanigans are we getting into today?
I don't know what we want to call this, but give me three, what three? It's all about questions involving...
Answer questions. Your top three.
Yeah, something on that.
Yeah. How it's going to go down is we've got three questions to ask each other, and we have to give our top three answers for those questions.
We have more than three questions.
Well, it's a total of 6. We have 3 questions to give each other. 3 plus 2 times 2 people equals 6. Anyways, there's 6 total questions. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I did not make sense with that math. I'm like, wait, what? There's 6 questions. I don't understand.
Well, I'm asking you 3 and you're asking me 3.
Oh, we're not answering all...
Well, no, we're going to answer them. My goodness, we really thought this one out, folks.
We're answering all 6 questions.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'm sorry, I just don't understand your logic.
You'll get it when you hear it. But before we dive into this craziness, Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
Oh, you go first. Shit.
Man.
I'm still thinking about your thinking.
Yeah.
I'm all confused.
I'm grateful for my new shelves in the garage.
Oh, yeah, they are pretty handy.
Yeah. Well, if you all are longtime listeners of the podcast, you'll know that in our previous house, our garage wasn't really the place that you would call a minimalist garage. It basically was a storage unit that had a lot of stuff in it. And I refuse to let that happen here at our house. So we still have some things. We got some things that we really no longer need. They've been in boxes in the garage since our move. But there are other things that we do need that I need to get out of boxes so I can return the boxes to my my brother-in-law. But yeah, we are building up in the garage so that we have some more space and potentially maybe putting a car in there over the winter. We'll see. I don't know. It might be in the works. But otherwise, we're going to stay organized. We are going to stay true to our simple life, our minimalistic values, and the garage is no exception. So I was really excited to buy some heavy duty shelves this weekend and start stacking some things on them bad boys.
That's so good.
Yeah. What about you, Jilly? What are you grateful for this week?
I'm just grateful for, I guess, the selection of just wineries, cideries, breweries.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yesterday, we just had this... Was that yesterday, right?
It was yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday was Sunday for those of you. We're recording on a very stormy Monday night, so you may hear some rain or thunder in the background. But yes, yesterday we hit up a really awesome cidery.
It was amazing. The cidery was just gorgeous, beautiful, and our company was just as delicious as the cider. And it was just an overall, just a great, fun day. The weather was beautiful. And our new friends that we have here in Charlottesville are just so kick-ass and just align and just kind of flow with us. And it's really cool seeing our kids play together. And
yeah, they had a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it just checked all the boxes of nature, alcohol, friends, conversation, laughs, play, all of it. It felt so good. So I'm really grateful for all that.
Yeah, and for being almost the end of October, the weather has just been perfect. I mean, I was out in shorts. It was a nice 75-degree day. Yeah. So we'll take this while we can get it. Even though I am yearning for some fall weather. I do love having the windows open now, and I hope it lasts a little bit longer before it gets really cold. But we'll take these nice weekends when we can get them.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited to bust out my flannel when the time comes, but I'm also I'm digging the warm vibe still, so we can put our feet in the water and it's not crazy cold, but it's this is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we've got a rather interesting episode here today where we will ask 6 total questions and we will give answers to all those questions. We'll have our top 3 answers for each of those. So Jilly, do you want to kick it off or do you want me to kick it off?
Oh, I think I'll kick it off.
All right.
All right. Hopefully this is fun and interesting.
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I've got some serious answers and I've got some not so serious answers.
And if anything, if this was fun for you guys, maybe you could do this with your partner or friend and just get some really cool, I don't know, conversation, some reflection. I'm always down for like deep conversation. Okay, so let's do, what are 3 things you love about yourself?
Sure. Well, the first one's very easy. It's got to be my hair.
Your hair is
I'm starting off with comedy on this one. Yeah, I'm 39 going on 40 and I feel very lucky to still have hair. I'm not balding anywhere, which is nice. And if I was, it would all be gone. But yeah, I'm 1, lucky to still have hair, and 2, that I have hair that likes to do stuff when I put some product in it.
Oh my God. Saved by the Bell. What was the principal's name?
Belding.
For some reason I kept thinking it was Principal Balding.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this?
I have no idea why that popped in my head. I guess it may have been a joke in the show.
It may have been a joke, yeah. But no, I'm very grateful that I've got a healthy head of hair. Very few grays, but those will probably start popping in more as Lucille gets older and starts inviting boys over to the house.
Cheesy.
I'm kidding. We're not fast forwarding that much. But yeah, that's number 1. Number 2, I think I really love my OCD. And I know a lot of people might not love their OCD, but I actually really like my OCD. Like, it's not overly obsessive and compulsive, but it's just enough where, like, you know, I can move some things around. And I'm sure that's one of the things you really love about me too, that I'm always screwing the caps on the toothpaste all the way and straightening out. Like, it's just like these little ticks, but it's like not overly compulsive. So like, I really kind of appreciate that about myself, because I think it helps keep me tidy too, and helps me with my minimalistic values. It's like just getting rid of stuff when I see it that I don't need anymore. So
I'm excited for it as well, because I feel like we have a really clean house, because you can't stand clutter and chaos, you know, in things. So that benefits me tremendously. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And my last one, on the third thing that I love about myself, is my ability to adapt. I think I'm pretty adaptable to most environments, and it makes things a lot easier. So like, no matter what's going on, you know, if it's meeting new people or put in a situation that's new or unfamiliar, you know, we try to go with it and make the most out of it. I think that's, you know, one of the really nice things about us together, is that, you know, we're able to adapt together and kind of go with the flow. So that's my my top 3.
You didn't mention your calves.
Nope.
Your
That's
beautifully defined calves.
That's what you love about me.
I should have put that question in there.
I know. Well, we can do this in a future episode if this turns out all right.
Yeah.
Well, Jilly, what about you? What are 3 things that you love about yourself?
For some reason, I put this first on my list. This is not in any particular order, but I just wrote dancing, because when I dance, I just feel so phenomenal.
You dance often.
But I mean, like, I really go crazy when we're at weddings, and we're going to be having a wedding in November, and I'm hoping that the music is on point, because I'm really looking forward to just busting a move. And I sound so old saying that, but I'm excited to just dance uninhibitedly. Is that a word?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dancing. It's just because it
you
makes me
are quite
feel
the
good.
dancer there.
Chords twisted.
Yeah.
There we go. Something else I love about myself is my ability to pun it up.
Oh my God.
Pretty
you're the
organically.
Queen of puns.
Pretty organically. And I'm grateful for my dad probably being the lead in dad jokes and just embracing that on me at a young age.
Your ability to pun is a gift. The how quick you're able to come up with them is just outstanding to me. Like, I would never be able to do that. So that is a gift that you have.
Thank you, sir. And another thing that I love about myself is my ability to immerse many things into one creation.
Oh,
Like in teaching, I was one of those. It came very natural to me, and a lot of people would always ask, how did you think of that? I could just find a way to combine science and art and health like all together, and come to find out, I did take we took a personality slash what's your gift, gifts, and that was like, you are very good at immersing in multiple things and learning
yeah.
about them at a time. And that's kind of how I function. Like even when I'm in the kitchen, like fridge dump meals are my favorite because I can see all of these different things and I can kind of picture and experiment with how to combine them all together to make this like one beautiful dish. And yeah.
Yeah, some of your creations there are just like, I would have never thought to do that. And you're just like, well, we were trying out something. And anytime you try out something, it seems to work out well.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, I'm just like, well, shit, I'll try again next time.
It's very few and far between when things don't work out as planned.
Yeah, yeah. I usually try to like taste test, however you want to take that, in the middle, just to be like, all right, this is sucking, so I need to steer in a different direction. So I kind of like, dive in a little bit halfway through and whatever I'm doing, just to like test the waters. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go a different direction, or keep going. This is gonna be great.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, now I guess it's my turn to ask you a question. What are 3 things you value that you learned from your parents?
Oh, okay. First, I'm gonna say, my dad and mom both were big on they always shined a light on our creative side. They
Yeah.
always applauded it, always enforced it, motivated us to just stay creative and, be our funky, artsy selves, because my sister is the same way. And just my dad was always a big proponent of just outside the box thinking on like, use what you have. You don't have to get things new all the time. He always had this quirky way of looking at things and making the most of it. So I don't know why I kind of meshed them two together, but like outside the box thinking, creative side
Yeah.
was always really reinforced in our home.
That'll explain your fridge dump.
Yeah, I guess so. And my dad and my mom were always big on like moving our bodies, whatever that was. We were always taught that like moving our body was very important and attitude is everything. Like my dad coached us throughout my whole life, basically every sport I played except for when I was on a swim team. And he always instilled like, be a good sport, like show up with a positive attitude, try your best. Even if like you may not have been the best at that sport, he always said that as long as you work hard and try your best, you're going to find what you can do and just do that really well. So I'm just very grateful for my dad and my mom instilling that in me. And I guess my dad coaching me all the way in everything, even in college. So thanks, Dad and Mom. And the last one I put is, this may not seem vital, but I think it's key to like me as an adult now. Like my mom instilled home rhythms in me, like cooking home cooked meals most nights. She was a big proponent on every Saturday morning she was cleaning, and that just instilled me to like clean weekly, bathrooms, laundry, and it makes less chaos for me as well. Like, so I'm grateful for seeing her do that and being involved in it as much as like I did not want to dust and do all this stuff. Like seeing her do that and instill that in me, and just the importance of family time. When we had dinner, it was like we always came together no matter what that looked like. We always stopped, turned off the TV, and we were always like brought together just to like talk and like just see how our day went. So I love those values that they instilled in me, and I feel like we're kind of carrying them on now in a different way.
Yeah.
But it's definitely kind of helped keep the sanity, I think, in adulthood for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, what are 3 things that you value that you learned from your parents?
Sure, and a lot of it just kind of has to do with the stage of life that we're in right now. And I think number 1 was just how to communicate with your partner. Like, my parents never really argued all that much. Like, it was once in a blue moon that they would, have an argument. But, for the most part, like, they were both great at communicating how they felt and, things that need to be done. So, that was one of the things that I was able to learn, is that communication is key, and really kind of leads into the second thing. And it's just the importance of having a partnership with your partner or your spouse. and part of it was the communication, but they had 3 boys, and sometimes we had to be in 3 different places with 2 parents, and they never complained about one having to carry a load more than the other. When it comes to like household chores and stuff like that, they did their thing. If one person cooked dinner, the other person would do dishes, and vice versa, and that's a staple in our house right now. Like it's exactly what gets done. But like they made everything seem easy, and I think it's because number one, they communicated, and number two, like they just were a true partnership. So like those are 2, I'd say, big things that I took from them. And then the last one is really just how to be a good parent. Like, right, that's the stage of life that we're in right now, and they were great parents. They still are great parents. Would do anything at the drop of a dime for us, and I want to do the same thing with Lucille. So like I've taken all of that from them and more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky.
We are.
Very
Absolutely.
fortunate. All right. So let's get into the next one.
All right.
Okay. What are 3 things that parenthood has taught you?
So I've got some good lessons here, and you may hear some repeat with some of our later questions here, but number 1, and I think I've learned this relatively recently, is that I still need to work on my patience. She's growing up so quickly, and now asking just a ton of questions, and at 3.5 is when they start pushing boundaries and stuff like that, and I realize that, and it's just one of those things where at some point I'm just like, oh my goodness, when will this end? But like try to show patience with her. Some days are easier than others, but I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like the next thing that I was going to say is that because she's asking so many questions, that it is okay to ask questions. I think as we become adults, or as we're growing up, we're told not to ask questions about certain things, and certain things are taboo. And right now she's innocent and hasn't been.
She's innocent.
Yeah, she hasn't been corrupted as far as like
Tainted.
What is it? Yeah. And so it's just really cool just to see her ask anything and everything about any subject. And, if you really want to get to the root of something, or how somebody's feeling, or why they do the things that they do, you have to ask questions, because not every time people are going to be an open book and, just give you all the answers that you need to hear. So like, it's okay to ask questions. And I think this is another one that we probably share. And I, would imagine that it's in your top 3, but like she's really shown us how to like look at the world through a kid's eyes, and just kind of see things as brand new, rather than having these biases that we have all the time. It's just really cool just to see her discover new things, and the way that she like notices things and makes you notice those things as well. Like it's walking down a path and seeing a mushroom, like probably not looking down, I'm probably looking up or around, and she's looking in different areas. So it's just like to be more observant on things. So she's that's just scratching the surface. She's teaching us a lot, but those are the things that stood out to me. And what about you, Jilly?
Very much the same. I think number 1, she taught me to actually think about what do I value most in life. Yeah. I don't really think I questioned what my values were until we were trying to conceive. And I was just like, made me really think like, man, my time and energy is so fucking vital. Like now that she's here, it's like so precious than I ever thought. And it really made me question and like have those conversations with you, and like keep that question going on like, what do we value? Just strive in that direction. It's kind of made our lives a little easier knowing what we value. My second thing is just how amazing nature is. Like you were saying, she's made me reappreciate the beauty that is around us every day, and just truly notice it, observe it, and how healing it is, and how powerful it is. And it's just so wondrous and beautiful. And like you said, she notices these tiny, small things, like a tiny ant or, a dead bug. And she'll be so fascinated that it's dead. And like, why isn't it moving? And it's just like, man, it just makes you stop to really notice the small little things and appreciate them. And the last thing parenthood has taught me, among many, is just to flow versus force. She has taught me to let go of control. And I kind of had a head start with teaching for 12 years. But man, letting go of control and just letting her lead the way has been, it's just so amazing once that happens. And your expectations are always exceeded if you think they can or can't do something or what they're going to say or respond. It's just amazing once I start following her lead and stop trying to control everything and plan everything out and just kind of go with the flow versus like do what I think a quote unquote good parent or, to get them to quote unquote behave in a way I want them to. You know what I mean? There's like so many things. But yeah, definitely to flow more versus to try and constrict and control.
Dig. Yep. Awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, Jilly, we're halfway through here. The next one's for you.
Okay.
What are 3 things that your partner, aka me, Nicholas, has taught you?
Nicholas, you have taught me to be a better listener, and I've always said that. Don't make your joke. What was that? Yeah. You are truly the epitome of like a great listener. You give eye contact and you're listening because you'll say something that I told you like a week ago and like your memory isn't impeccable as well. But you just truly are a great listener, and I can observe it when you're communicating with other people as well and how you react and respond. And I didn't think I knew how to communicate until watching you, that it's mostly about listening and less talking.
There's a good book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, by Dale Carnegie, which is, I read that book and I had already started doing that, but it really just kind of reinforces that's like the thing to do. And like, what's the most important thing that, people like to talk about themselves. And the more you can get them to talk, the more you get them to open up and really understand who they are. So like, yeah, I think it's important to listen. And, I'm one of those people, like if somebody's talking and I want to interject and I might start saying something and then they kind of go back in, then I stop. Like, I want to hear what they have to say. And that actually took a lot of effort. Because sometimes depending on what the subject is, you might want to raise your voice and kind of talk over, but I retreat and it's not a dominance thing or anything like that. It's like, I want to understand. So like, I'm going to listen.
It takes a lot of patience. I know you said you had to work on patience with Lucille, but you have a lot of patience when it comes.
I got other areas that I got to work on in my patience department.
Oh, just, we'll just tilt the patience crane in the communication. No, in the Lucille department.
Yeah. You got to force that focus there.
So yeah, you've taught me to be a better listener. I think you've kind of showed me how to, I guess, come out of my shell. I feel like I always considered myself an introvert. I was very shy as a kid and never wanted to talk to strangers or like new people or like call anybody. And like, especially like my dad would make me do 411 phone calls and I was terrified and I would cry. Does anybody
remember what 411 is?
Right? Oh my gosh.
Where's our young crowd at?
Oh my gosh.
Y'all know what the 411 is? Sorry.
No, it's funny because it's not really a thing now.
I don't think it is.
I don't know. I haven't dialed 411 in ages. Anyway, you've just kind of helped me become more social and be bold and not be frightened by going up to people and, igniting conversations or, I don't know. I had a lot of fear in that before, and you kind of helped me in that department. And then, I will say, I had How to Be a True Partner. I'm like, well, that sounds kind of lame, right?
I don't think it's lame.
So, but I like this one better. Just to do a job 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm kind of like, just get it over with. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect where you're like the OCD person. But it's so inspiring watching you. Like, when you do something, you are in the zone, you're focused, you want to do the job right one time so you don't have to go back and do all these other, fixes or touches. So that speaks to me because I'm kind of the opposite. I'm kind of like, I'll do like an 80% good job, whatever, as long as it's done. But you kind of instill more of like quality work versus just quick and get it done. So thank you for that. And yeah, you're a great partner. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, for me, like, it's important like to kind of understand the project you're tackling and read ahead so that you're not taking longer. It actually take a few minutes to read the instructions. Your job actually goes quicker than having to actually go through and then keep reverting back. So like, I can't stand not doing that stuff. Like, I have to finish.
Yeah, I guess you do a lot of preparation before anything, where I'm just kind of like, I'm just diving in and I'll figure it out along the way. So it's interesting. So you kind of help instill a little bit to mesh it with my way of doing it, to kind of like just take my time and be like, quality, Jill.
Oh yeah.
Do 110%.
110%. All right. So, Jilly, you've taught me a couple things here.
Ooh.
I've narrowed it down to 3. Number 1, you've taught me how to embrace my weirdness.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
Like, I think it's like with you in a one-on-one situation, it's very easy to embrace my inner weirdness or my weirdness. Like, I think it was apparent on our first date that I felt very comfortable and could just be myself around you. But like, it could be a lot harder around other people as well. And I've always thought you were like just a very quirky person, like even before we started dating, which I loved. Like I was drawn to that. Like I was attracted to that. I mean, obviously I was attracted to your weirdness, but like, I think it was just one of those things where in certain situations I would maybe hold back and be a little bit more reserved. But now I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I don't care what other people think. Let's do this. I mean, what we're doing on the podcast here, we're certainly embracing our inner weird when we're on here. Like, you all know a lot about us, and we're not holding back anything. This is who we are. So yeah, I want to thank you for that. But yeah, definitely that. Second thing is you taught me that it's okay not to have a plan. So a little bit of a reverse here, which is not planned at all. And really, like, I think about our vacations and how our best vacations are the unplanned vacations. And really, like, it goes all the way back to our honeymoon and maybe even to some of the trips we took beforehand. But I mean, our honeymoon, we went to Hawaii for 10 days and had maybe one thing planned the entire time. And the rest of it was like, we're going to see where the vacation takes us, and we've kind of planned most of our vacations like that. Now, we do plan, we have to go to a place where there's food, and we know that there's good food, there's good cocktails, like there's things that we have to have within that, but like we're not actively like saying we need to be here at 3:30 and then we're gonna go here. Like, we try not to fill that up, and not that I was a planner to the sense that I was planning everything down to the hour or the minute. But like just being able to do things spontaneously, like just to say, hey, I'm feeling like going out and grabbing a drink somewhere. I mean, I'm just giving an example, and it's just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, being flexible and being able to not have a plan has been great. So yeah, being more spontaneous, I would say.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then last but not least, this is not maybe something you've taught me, but I mean, it's something that you just make me want to do. And that's just be a better version of myself. Like, you're always, I see you writing in your journal and always doing things to improve yourself. And, it's just one of those things that it kind of rubs off. Like, it's just like, and part of the reason why we started this podcast too, it's like, let's talk about this kind of stuff and let's put it out there in the universe and see what happens. So like, yeah, you've really pushed me to be a better Nick in our relationship as a parent and all those things. So yeah.
That's awesome, babe. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Okay,
all right.
So moving on.
You get to hear me talk some more.
Yes.
All right.
What are 3 things you want to improve or learn?
All right. I'll keep these quick because I think it's pretty straightforward. Number 1, I want to read more, and not just like articles and stuff like that. Like, when I say read more, I mean like read more books. I have intentions to read books, and I just don't really pick them up. I want to do better at that because I think there's a lot more that can happen. Like, and articles are great. There's a lot of information in them, but I feel like you can get much deeper into a topic or a subject if you pick up a book that's, 120 to 300 pages. They're obviously getting really deep into subjects when you have something like that. So yeah, I want to read more books. I want to get, kind of playing off what I just said, I want to get better at reflecting on my day, writing it down, and be better at goal setting. Like, I have it down there, but I need to get better at checking in more often. And third, kind of going back to a reoccurring theme with me, patience and road rage. Like, my road rage isn't off the charts. Like, I'm not going to get out of the car and beat the crap out of somebody. That's just not who I am, and that's not what I'm all about. I do follow the golden rule, and it's to make sure that you don't hurt anybody. And
is that the golden rule?
Yeah,
do unto others as others do to you. I don't even know.
But just need to work on it. Because, as Lucille gets older, she doesn't need to see me calling somebody a fuckface. Or hear me calling somebody a fuckface. So, yeah.
Hunty McHunterson.
Well.
My favorite one.
Yeah. I said it once.
Babe,
and she
own
laughed.
Your weirdness. It's hysterical.
It is.
I think it's hilarious. If you don't, it's cool.
I mean, she was that day. At that time.
It's brilliant.
But you've come up with this really cool thing to saying, well, maybe the guy has to take a shit. That's the reason why he cut you off. So we've been having some fun with it, but I still have to harness in.
Harness the good, block bad.
That's right. What about you, Jilly? What do you need to improve or learn?
I'll keep it short too. I don't have to really dive into why, but just setting boundaries for myself and communicating them, just without having guilt. Motherhood guilt, I think, is a thing. Just continue, improve, and just finding who I am throughout motherhood. I think sometimes it can be, you can lose yourself in motherhood, and I'm just dedicated not to know myself better throughout the process of being a mom. And then I just want to improve and just letting go of fear and loving more.
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty short and sweet.
Harness good, block bad.
Yep.
All right, Jilly, we are down to the final question. 3 goals you want to accomplish in the next 5 years.
All right. So it's all over the place, these topics. So travel. I want to travel to at least 5 new cool places we've never been to.
We can make that happen.
I know we go to a lot of similar places that we've been to before. So I'm 5 new experiences would be dynamite. And I think we kind of talked about this before off the podcast, but I want to have a big 10-year anniversary party at a winery or a cidery. I want it to be a big wedding bash without the bill. I just want it to be really chill. We just rent out a space. We invite everyone we know and just say it's bring your own snacks. We'll have some wine or cidery or whatever, but something really cool just to get people together, not to treat everyone, because we don't have all this crap tons of money to spend on another second wedding. But
I don't know, we got 3 years to make some money here, hon.
It's true. Now that it's a goal,
maybe we should monetize this podcast. Kidding.
No, like I said, I love dancing, so I just want to have a big epic bash to just celebrate 10 years of marriage, because it's been a really fun ride, and I think it'd be really cool to celebrate all that.
Hell yeah.
And my last one is just kind of lame, but it's important to me. I want to find a way to just contribute monetarily wise to our family. Right now, I don't have a job, and I process what it means to not make an income. I've process what my worth is as an individual, as a mother, what I contribute. I know I went down this rabbit hole of just who am I? What do I bring to the table?
You have the greatest job on the face of the earth, and that is raising our daughter.
I know.
Not alone, but during the hours of 9 to 5.
But I want to find a way to have fun and do something I love, but still bring something to the table financially, so I can set some aside for myself and, kind of keep putting in some financial things in our accounts to savor for whenever. And so I think those are realistic and exciting goals for me.
Hell yeah.
What about you? What are 3 goals you hope to accomplish in the next 5 years?
Number 1, get new podcast equipment.
Yes.
Yeah, Jilly and I have been sharing a Yeti microphone for almost 3 years now, and it's been great. but I want to step our game up a little bit in the audio department. So that's going to force me to learn a little bit more about audio stuff. So growing there, learning some new skills. Number 2, and this is a pretty hefty one, but I'd love for us to buy an investment property. Basically take the money that we made off of our selling our home in Maryland and trying to find some passive income there. I know managing an investment property can be a headache for some folks, and it can be for a lot of folks. But we see it as an opportunity for us to potentially build and own some property further on down the road. But yeah, for now, it's a good way to make some passive income. And last but not least, I want to figure out a good side hustle. Like, I love my job and what I'm doing right now, but I think there's some side hustles that we can do that would be pretty fun besides this podcast, which is not really a side hustle at all. It's a project that we just really love doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of figuring out something on the side that maybe, I guess it has to do with me trying to figure out what lights my fire, I'm passionate about.
You're
so
really good at Facebook Marketplace, and we make money too.
Yeah, that's a good. Let's just sell all our shit.
No, you're really good at like listing things, like pictures. Like, you're all about like creating that beautiful, like, you want to buy me.
It's about the photography, and then about how you describe you want to make sure that people can see it in their own home. So like, yeah. People short sell the description, but let's see, you gotta get a good description on there.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
It'll be interesting to start selling down here. I haven't put anything on Facebook Marketplace since we've moved to Virginia, so I'm just wondering what that looks like. So maybe we'll get something on the Facebook Marketplace this week and test the waters.
I think that'll be fun. Do it, Lars.
All right. Well, we hope you all learned a little bit more about your host here. We've been an open book the last 3 years, but we thought that this would be Jill came up with this and thought this would be a fun exercise, and I concurred. This is something a little bit different than what we normally do. So we really hoped you enjoyed that. Today, we do not have any resources, no quote of the day, no take action challenge. Well, your take action challenge is to maybe have a similar conversation with your partner, your spouse, or somebody special, and see what their answers are. I think it would be a fun little exercise for you, and hit us up on the Instagram and let us know how it goes.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. But, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review or simply by sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action. And action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will talk to you again next week.
See y'all later.